Welcome to the world of Bruce Button, collector of 60s TV memorabilia. Yes, I've been a fan of television memorabilia since the 60s. My era was 1964 to 66. Great shows back then. You had The Man from U.N.C.L.E, you had The Munsters, Gilligan's Island, Addams Family, Lost in Space, all the great shows. I've always been a collector. Started out collecting gum cards and comic books. Now I've segued more into the board games because as the years get further on, the stuff's getting harder and harder to find, and it's preserving a lost art. Over here we got like movies stuff, some of the comedy teams I'm interested in, like the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges. Then over here we get into a lot of the TV stuff that I'm interested in. This book is quite nice. This one I'm very proud of. This is the Munsters book by Stephen Cox. And the reason I like this book so much is if you look here, you'll see that I'm listed as a research consultant. You gotta check this show out. This is The Persuaders. It stars Roger Moore, who played the Saint, James Bond, and Tony Curtis. Only ran one season, but they did a lot of location shooting. So it's a neat show. So if you ever get a chance to watch it, watch it. That's my annuals. And then over this side, these are all coloring books. You get stuff like The Time Tunnel, Irwin Allen Show, the same guy that did Lost in Space, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Land of the Giants. Or It's About Time. That's from the same guy that did Gilligan's Island and The Brady Bunch.
Come ahead, son. Let's see what you're made of.
If you came up to me and said, gee, what's your favorite TV guide of all time? This is it.
Is that the only issue that they were on?
They were on 4 issues.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite. My absolute favorite TV guide cover of all time. Chuck the Security Guard. Oh yeah.
You were on an episode of that as well.
Yeah, oh, I sure was. That's when we won the car stereo and Spot the Movie contest. And Chuck says, we'll have to find a way of getting this prize to you. And I says, why don't I come down and pick it up in person? So when I went down, we got the whole tour of the studio. And then I said to Chuck, hey Chuck, I'm recording this at home. He goes, well then, let's get you on air. I go, great idea.
Good night, Chuck. Good night, Chuck.
These are the TV guide. This is the TV guide collection here. They're all in order. I've got about 1970 on to when they stopped printing them, which was what, 2006 or something, or 7? A lot of superhero in there, like Spider-Man. I was a fan of Spider-Man for a while. But the ones that are near and dear to my heart are the TV collectible ones. And my Dennis the Menace. We got some Man from U.N.C.L.E pocketbooks here, like Solo for Uncle.
What do you think their purpose?
And what else is this? Oh, this is a good one. Man and Friend Uncle.
That's all?
In the background, look at the top there of Groucho. Those are Popeye crayons from 1938. They belonged to my dad. And I remember when I was a kid finding them up the attic, and I said, Dad, can I have those Popeye crayons? And he says, why? I says, I want to color with them. He says, no. And then years later, he says, oh, you know what? I was cleaning up the attic. I found those Popeye crayons. Do you still want them? And I go, yeah. And he says, you're going to color with them? And I go, no way.
My sensors indicate an intruder is present.
That's awesome.
Danger, Will Robinson.
So yeah, this is this here is what you're looking at. This is my favorite TV show of all time. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. A lot of people don't remember The Man from U.N.C.L.E, but what it was, they were 2 super spies that worked for an organization known as U.N.C.L.E. And it was basically James Bond's answer to television. It starred Robert Vaughn as Agent Napoleon Solo and Dave McCallum as Agent Ilya Kuryakin. It ran from September 64 to January of 68. This is a merchandiser's dream, you know, like, I mean, all sorts of stuff produced for the show. Like in the top shelf here, right in the background there, that's the Napoleon Solo gun. That was the big piece. Those are the dolls right there. It's still sealed in the box. That box there that says the complete series, that's the DVD set from Time Life. And on the next shelf, you've got, boy, what have I got here? The Man from U.N.C.L.E. card game. That's a Dutch card game. Behind that, there's a 45. I believe that's Italian. Yeah. Man from U.N.C.L.E. print putty. Behind that is a Man from U.N.C.L.E. shooting arcade. These here are a couple of the accessories for the dolls.
Oh yeah.
This white car right in the middle, that's Mexican. And then the other car, the blue one, is the Corgi Thrush Buster. That's a fairly common piece. You'll see that at a lot of shows, like some of the collectible toy shows. And then behind, of course, are all the puzzles. But what I've got here is I got the Napoleon Solo, the Ilya Kuryakin, and this one here is April Dancer, who was the girl from U.N.C.L.E., played by Stephanie Powers. And some more puzzles and a couple of card games there. There's the gum card box. U.N.C.L.E. headquarters transmitter, spy magic tricks. We're just kind of pushing it a bit. Secret Service gun for Napoleon Solo. I quite like this Toronto Maple Leaf tie, because that's a tie that I gave to Tiny as a birthday present one year. And he wore it a lot. I've got him on some talk shows wearing it. Pictures. He's on one of the album covers. He's wearing it. And then when he died, his widow sent all his clothing to this collector in Battle Creek, Michigan. And when I was talking to the guy, he says, "Oh, you didn't happen to get a maple leaf tie amongst those items?" And he says, "Yeah, I did." He says, "I'll send it to you." Some of this stuff is pretty pricey. The Gilligan's Island board game, I had Gilligan sign it to me.
Nice.
I don't know if you get that shot in the background. There's me standing with the skipper. Oh, the New Adventures of Gilligan. Yeah, that was the cartoon series put out by Filmation in '77. The Gilligan's Island gum card pack. Gilligan's Island gum cards. And let me tell you, this set goes for over $1,000.
Did you have to buy the set all at once?
No, I collected it. Like in the old days.
Oh, yeah?
Tracked it down. The last card I needed was this one here. This Outer Limits, I bought that in Rochester. I walked into a store and I says, "Oh, I'll take that board game." And the guy looked at me like I was crazy. He goes, "What?" I says, "I'll buy it." He goes, "You'll buy it?" I go, "It's for sale, isn't it?" And he goes, "Yeah, but nobody ever walks into our store and buys stuff because they were mostly mail order." I go, "Well, I'm from Canada." "Oh, well, that explains it," he says.